What's up guys, welcome to episode 13 of Banda Inku's Rising Sun painting series. Today we'll be painting the Turtle Clan Shinto as voted for over on Patreon. To start things off, I base coated the monk's clothes and all the cloth using Cygnus Yellow. After that, I created some contrast on the cloth by applying some Khador Red Highlight, followed by a 2-to-1 mix of Scorn Red and Thamar Black. I then came back with Cygnus Yellow to touch up the monk's robes, after which I applied a wash of Midlund Flesh shade to start creating some contrast. Then once that wash had dried, I came in with some Cygnus Yellow and applied some edge highlights to all the cloth. Next I base coated all the skin by applying some Trollblood Highlight to the Beastman and Midlund Flesh to the monk, who for the rest of the video we're just going to refer to as Avatar Aang, because let's be real here, we all know that CMON likes to design their minis based off of popular characters, and this is definitely Avatar Aang. After base coating all the skin, I applied a wash of soft tone to the Beastman and flesh wash to the Avatar. I then applied some highlights to Aang's head by first applying some Midlund Flesh, followed by a 1-to-1 mix of Midlund Flesh and Pale Flesh, followed by a final highlight of Pale Flesh, with each highlight focusing on a smaller and smaller area. Next, I started popping out all those Beastman muscles by applying some Trollblood Highlight. I then applied a 1-to-1 mix of purple tone and water to give the skin a slight tint. Then once that wash was fully dried, I came back in with some Trollblood Highlight and popped out those muscles once again. I then applied some finer highlights using a 1-to-1 mix of Morrow White and Trollblood Highlight, particularly on the tops of the muscles, to pop them out one step further. Which, if I had to pick one part of the model that was my favorite to paint, it was definitely this part. Because it was just so much fun to start to see those muscles pop out and start giving this model a lot of character. Plus, muscles just look cool in general, and when you pop them out like this and really give them some nice detail, they just look even cooler. After getting all those muscles popped out, I applied some Morrow White to his hair, beard, teeth, and eyes, as well as the eyes of the avatar. Next, I used Thamar Black to paint the avatar's pupils and his eyebrows, as well as painted those arm straps around the left forearm of the Beastman. After that, I used Greatcoat Grey to base coat the Beastman's shoes and highlight the tops of the arm straps. I then started accentuating the details of the shoes by applying a dry brush of light gray, followed by a wash of dark tone. Then while that wash was drying, I picked out the avatar sash and the Beastman's waistband using a 2-to-1 mix of Scorn Red and Black, followed by some fine highlights using Khador Red Base. After that dark tone was fully dry, I used Bloodstone to pick out the straps around the boots, as well as base coat the avatar's podium and the strap securing it to the Beastman's shoulders. I then washed all that Bloodstone using some strong tone, and then applied some edge highlights using a 1-to-1 mix of white and Bloodstone. Next, I base coated some of the cloth, the sword handle, and the accents on the sword using Khador Red Base. After which, I applied a couple layers of dark tone to darken it down and create some really intense contrast. Once that dark tone was nice and dry, I came back in with some Khador Red Base to apply some edge highlights to the folds and the bottom of the cloth and pick out the details of the sword. Next, I base coated the carpet beneath the avatar using Necrotite Green, followed by a couple washes of green tone, and finally some edge highlights using Necrotite Green. Next, I applied some blood tone to the bottom part of that groin armor, followed by a wash of strong tone. I then added a bit of accent color to the groin armor by applying some Warlord Purple, followed by some fine highlights of Carnal Pink, and finally some purple tone to tie it all together. Next, I base coated the pants using turquoise, followed by a wash of blue tone. Then while those pants were drying, I base coated the tapestry using blue-green, followed by a wash of a 1-to-1 mix of blue tone and water. Once the pants were fully dry, I came in with some turquoise and re-established the mid-tone using a more blocky style and didn't really worry about doing any blending. I then used blue-green to re-establish the mid-tone on the tapestry in the same fashion that I did with the pants, and then applied some final highlights to the pants using some 2-brush blending. Next, I use a 1-to-1 mix of white and blue-green to add fine highlights to the tapestry and start popping out the folds, followed by a 2-to-1 mix to pop things out just a little bit more. After that, I base coated all the wood using leather brown, then picked out all the ropes and applied some light highlights using a 1-to-1 mix of Morrow white and Beasty brown. Next, I started painting all the gold pieces in a different way than I've done before, by first base coating all the gold masks and the emblems on the throne using Blighted Gold, followed by a wash of purple tone. Then after that wash was dry, I applied some fine highlights using solid gold to start picking out the details, followed by some finer highlights using platinum. Next I base coated all the silver bits using some cold steel, followed by a 1-to-1 mix of dark tone and purple tone, and finally applied some highlights using Radiant Platinum. After that, I use black to paint the top of the base and base coat all the tassels. I then applied a heavy dry brush of blue-green to the tassels to pop out the details, then came in with a smaller brush and applied some edge highlights to some of those areas that are a little too hard to hit with the dry brush. I then applied some blue tone to all the tassels to darken them down a bit and make them a bit less of an eye catcher. Next I wrapped the main part of the mini using saran wrap to avoid rubbing off any paint, and applied Necrotite Green to the entire trim of the base. Then to finish things off, I used a 1-to-1 mix of blue green and Morrow white to paint the arrow on Aang's head to truly make him Avatar Aang. And there you have it. The Turtle Clan Shinto, aka Beastman and Avatar Aang, is finally complete. Thank you all for joining. I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to subscribe and hit that little bell button so you get notified when we have new videos posted. And come and join us on the Patreon and Discord channel. It's always fun to meet you guys and be able to chat with you more personally and really get to know you. Everyone that's been on there so far has been awesome. You guys are the best. Thank you all for being here, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Turtle Clan Shinto, complete! Banda, out!